Welcome to my first Raspberry Pi tutorial. This video is going to show you how to download and install Android 12L on your Raspberry Pi 4 or Raspberry Pi 400. So I'm going to be doing the installation tutorial today on my Raspberry Pi 400. I don't have a Raspberry Pi 4 with me right now. It's still being on back order because of the supply issues and all that, so I don't have it yet. But this video is going to apply to both the Raspberry Pi 400 and the 4. The instructions are the same for both models. And as well as installing Android, I'm going to show you how to install working G apps so you can get the Play Store and all that stuff. So if you follow this tutorial completely and properly, and I'm sure you'll be able to enjoy Android 12L on your Raspberry with G apps. So let's get started with the tutorial. The first thing you want to do is to go to the link I've given in the description for Android 12L, and this is basically a fork of Lineage OS 19. It's by this developer Constacan, and what you want to do is, you can see that this is a screenshot of what it looks like. So you get the 12L, and these are all the things that are working right now. So the audio's working. They say the audio is working, but I couldn't get mine to work even though I changed the settings. Maybe it's just my issue, but still I'm going to show you how to change the audio setting. So maybe it might work for you, but I couldn't get mine to work yet. And Bluetooth is working, Wi-Fi is working, I can confirm that it's working. Camera, I don't have a camera, so I can't confirm this, but the important stuff are working. What is not working is the hardware decoding, so just keep in mind that. Okay, so what you want to do is to download this one. You want to download this file, and you just click here to start download and download the file. I already downloaded it, so I'm not gonna download it again. And then you want to go and download this software. This is called the Balena Etcher. Sorry if I'm not pronouncing it right, but this is basically going to flash Android to your SD card. So make sure you have an SD card which you don't mind formatting for Android. And then you want to go and download the Android 12L OpenG apps. I'm gonna give it in the description. And keep in mind, this is still a beta, not fully official kind of release, because still they haven't officially released it yet for Android 12L. But I can confirm that with the instructions I'm going to give in this video, it's going to work fine. So just don't worry about it and just download the zip file for OpenG apps I'm going to give in the description. And you're going to copy that to a USB flash drive. A separate flash drive, because we're gonna use this to flash it later in TWRP recovery. So just download the zip file and save it to your flash drive. So now let's go and download or flash the Android image to your SD card. So you want to take out your SD card from your Raspberry Pi and insert it in your computer. It can be your SD card on your computer or a SD card reader. I'm using an SD card reader because mine doesn't have an SD card reader on the computer itself. So I'm just gonna close this, and then we're gonna go and open the flasher. And then you want to select Flash from File and select your image. And then, yeah, make sure you extracted the zip first of the Android image before you run the software. And then you want to select your target. So this is my SD card reader, and yeah, it's saying large drive because it's 256 gigabytes, but they just want you to make sure that you're not wiping anything that you don't want to format. But my SD card is 256 gigabytes, so it's fine. So select, and then we're going to flash. And again, it is saying, because it thinks that you might be formatting your C drive, but it's saying that it's my SD card. So yeah, click yes and yes, and now it's gonna start. It's gonna take like about 2 minutes to do it. Okay, so it has finished successfully, so we can close it and unplug it. And now I'm gonna switch over to my capture device where we are going to be seeing the Raspberry Pi. Okay, so now I've switched over to my capture device for my Raspberry so we can see the screen. So now what you want to do is to take your SD card and insert it into your Raspberry Pi, like so. And then make sure you have your keyboard and mouse connected. If you have the 400, you can just use the keyboard on it. And then plug your HDMI cable into your monitor or TV, and then we're going to go and plug in the power. And now it should start booting. So the boot is going to take like 1 or 2 minutes. So we're just going to wait. So now we're just waiting for the boot logo. So you can see we have the boot logo now. So we just wait 1 or 2 minutes. So here we go, welcome to Lineage OS. So just click on start and just click accept and select your language. Date and time, so I don't think it is correct, but I think once you go online it's gonna get the correct time, so just click next. So you can see right here, it's proof that the Wi-Fi is working, so we just connect. And okay, so it's connected. I'm gonna turn this off. It's up to you. I'll turn this off. Okay, so I suggest you select the 3-button navigation, otherwise it's gonna be a hassle using it with a mouse and keyboard. So just click on next. And I'm not gonna put a password, so just skip and start. So you can see, and now we got the correct time. It didn't account to daylight saving time in the UK, but that's fine, we can fix it later. But you can see that now the Lineage OS is running, and yeah. So now what we have to do is to install the OpenG apps. So we just have to go to settings. So we have to enable the option to boot into recovery mode. So what we have to do is to go to search and type. You want to go to advanced restart, and then you want to turn this option on. Alright, so once it is on, you want to plug in your USB, which has the GApps zip file on it. So just plug it in. And then we're going to go and restart to recovery. So just pull down the notifications, and then we're going to click on the power button, and then restart and recovery. And now it's going to boot into recovery mode. Alright, so from here you want to go and click on install, and then select storage and select the USB, and then you want to select the zip file you downloaded. So this one, the OpenGApps ARM6412L, and then swipe to confirm flash. You don't need to change any of this stuff, just swipe it. And now this is gonna take like 3 minutes. Alright, from here what you want to do is to click on the logo at the top left, and then you want to go to wipe and then swipe it. Okay, so now unplug your USB flash drive because you don't need it anymore, and then just restart the system. And now you're gonna have to go through the setup again, but you should have the Play Store after this. Okay, so you're gonna get this, so just ignore, just click on close and then select your language again. So you can see this looking a bit different, but just don't worry about it too much. So just click on start and just select setup offline, so it's gonna be a bit quicker. And okay, so I think it's gonna get the time when you connect it to the Wi-Fi, so just click on next. And I don't want this, I don't want this, I don't want this, accept, and not now, skip. Again, then make sure you select 3 buttons, unless you're asking for a hard time. And I don't know why this is blank, just press on skip and then start. And right here you can see the Play Store. So the first thing you need to do is to connect to the Wi-Fi, so just go to the settings and we're just connected. And already the time got fixed, so that's fine now. So we can go and open the Play Store, and you can see it launches. So now we can press on sign in and log into your Google account. Okay, so here we can sign in. And you can see that the Play Store is now working. And it's a little bit laggy, but you can see that the Play Store is now working fine. We can go to the apps. And we can see we have the apps right here. So we're gonna try and install one app. I can confirm YouTube works fine, so you can install other Google apps fine, but we're gonna download a different app. So we're gonna try and download Discord, and just click on install. So now it is installing. And yeah, it is installed. So I can confirm from this video that Play Store installation works completely fine. We can launch it, and we have our Discord. So Yeah, so congratulations if you made it this far. You now have a working Android installation on your Raspberry Pi with Play Store. And if we go to settings, we can see we are on Android. This is Android 12L, but you can see that it has the UI elements of 12L. And there are also some Raspberry Pi specific settings. So if we go to System and select the Pi settings, you get all these different settings, so you can change where you want to output the audio device. So this is where you can output from your HDMI. I don't know why it's not working for me. It might for you, but you can change your display resolution. So 1080p is fine. Let's go back. And you can enable the touchscreen. So yeah, if you have one of those Raspberry Pi touchscreens, you can use that with your Android. And just turn this on. You can use the remote, power button, volume buttons, disable the taskbar, and you can overclock it if you want. You can go up to 2 GHz, and right now it's on 1.5. I think the Raspberry Pi 400 normally runs at 1.8, so you can change that if you want. And let's go back. And yeah, so all these different settings. And if you want the developer mode, just go to About, do this, and yeah, you get the options right here. So I hope this video has helped you, and if you faced any problems or have any questions, leave a comment. I'll try my best to answer it. And yeah, I hope this video helped you. Thanks for watching. If this helped you, give a like and subscribe to my channel for more helpful tutorials like this. So thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.